2103 on the time code. You guys ready?
2103. Time
Coming
code's
down.
2103 on Peacock.
In 3.
John Cena still to show up tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk, the WWE champion, is here tonight. Talking about these two fellas.
All going down on
1,000
Peacock.
episode of Raw tonight. WWE Championship match, John Cena and CM Punk. Let's see who has what it takes to become the champion here tonight. There's D-Generation X. Always, Road Dogg's always messing up the arm signals, as you can see.
Remember, it's a 3-hour Raw, so we're going to have a lot of recaps after every segment.
We come back up with a replay of fat old guys still leaving. Well, one fat old guy. The other guys are all balding, apparently, according to Hunter. We're in St. Louis, Missouri.
You're taking us there. You're making us feel like we're there.
We took us on the Missouri boat ride, which is a outlaw Josie Wales reference, by the way, but they got it. Here we are to the old Sooner. J.R. Jim Ross is coming down. Howdy, folks. Good old J.R. here. That's J.I.M. Oh, sorry. Different guy.
you brought up Michael Cole's longevity in the role as a commentator. You got to talk about Jim Ross and the longevity he's had, decades and decades and decades.
Well, I mean, you got to go way, way back to see when he started. You know what I mean? You mentioned decades and decades. Hell, that was just with WWE. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can go back 2 more decades and find him in Texas and Louisiana and Louisiana. Excuse me. I'm from the South. But yeah, Jim Ross has been doing it forever, and he's come out here to call this match right now. It's going to be a slobber knocker.
Definitely a special moment for the fans who were always calling to hear more from JR when he wasn't being utilized.
Yep, and now we had just gotten Ray back.
One of those moments, the return.
This might actually been a return of Ray, and he started back after. Is that what you just said, Ryan?
No, but I'm just sitting there laughing at the craziness of 10 years later and Ray's back.
I watched Ray work last night on TV.
And wrestling a full schedule right now.
Alberto Del Rio.
He liked one of your tweets I saw.
Who did?
Alberto Del Rio.
Really?
Yeah, earlier.
Me and Alberto had one little misunderstanding, but it wasn't even a misunderstanding. He was very professional about it, and so was I. And that's the only we got along really well. Is what I should have started with. But that one little thing was a hiccup on our relationship record. So, but I loved his work. He always is a great promo. Always. Professional as far as it came to what we did, in the ring.
WWE always looking for that next Latino breakout star.
For sure.
Could it be a Santos Escobar down at NXT? Can he make that transition?
I'll tell you, it could be, if you ask me. If it was up to me, it already would be. Because, yes, I think he's the guy that can do it. I even think the 2 guys they got with him, Legados del Fantasma, I think they could be power players up there as well. Because this Sin Cara, I don't know if this was the original Sin Cara or the next one we had.
Yep.
But I think those guys can do what this guy does, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they can cut promos because they don't have to wear the mask. So I don't know. I'm not talking negatively about this guy. I just think Legados is
total package.
Awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love them together. Hey, let's fast forward. What do we do? What is this, a match?
Yeah, this is a match. We can skip through this one. This is Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara and Sheamus taking on Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler, and Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, I knew I saw Alberto there.
6 good workers in there. Give me your thoughts on these guys real quick as we pop through.
I will while we're getting through their entrances. Look, I love Ricardo. Ricardo Rodriguez actually just came back into my life in a way, so I appreciate that. I always liked him. But now the match is starting.
Came from the California scene where I came from.
Brian, you just have a huge ego. Okay, I'll tap out on that. But I do think he's, to this day, one of the best bumpers in the industry, and has been around doing it, just like Miz. You know what I mean? People always talk badly about Miz, but there's Dolph Ziggler doing it to this day. Just like we mentioned, Rey Mysterio is back, and he's still doing it. So Dolph is a high caliber athlete, man, and a great pro wrestler. Sometimes he goes out on his own and to pop the boys or whatever. That used to be cool back in the day. It doesn't work so well anymore. And look, that may get heat, but that's the way it is. And these two guys right here, Alberto Del Rio and Sin Cara. Yeah, look, anytime they locked up, or Ray gets in there too. I love when some good luchadors run their stuff, and you know what I mean. They spot each other and they run all those spots. I love that stuff. And here we go.
Looking at this match, 4 of the 6 guys in this ring still going on what I'd call full-time schedules, which is wild to think about.
Incredible, right?
10 years later, and this is already so many years deep into their careers already.
I wonder how old Alberto Del Rio is, because I've seen him lately. He's still in great shape. He still looks incredible. I think he has the last time I saw him, he had a little tight beard. But here comes the Lucha just went out the window because Sheamus is in now, and the Bull has entered the China shop. Jericho right now is going, please, for the love of God, tag back in Rey Mysterio.
Del Rio, 45 years old right now, 45. So it would have been 35 at this point.
Okay. Jericho dead weighted him on that.
Yeah, I mean, he went super heavy.
I just think he didn't know what they were doing, so he's just
timing was off a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't look like that connected exactly, but they made it work right there between Ray and Alberto. Oh, Ray off the apron with the flying. I guess.
And what I loved and hated about that spot is on the meltdown. Dolph ran down the apron and missed Ray as he flew off the apron, but we missed it as a viewer because you can't do 2 things at once. You know what I mean? I can't shoot it all at once, and it wasn't set up to shoot right. But Dolph played a critical role in that spot for Ray to jump off onto Del Rio there.
So I'm watching a Rey Mysterio match, and I'm reminded of a conversation I had with a friend of mine. He's a casual wrestling fan, meaning he actually watches a lot, but he watches casually when he watches, but watches consistently. Yeah. And he says to me, he's like, I don't understand why only on a Rey Mysterio match did people just suddenly get bumped onto the ropes for the 619, and it never happens in any other match or with any other wrestler, but it just always works that way.
Hey, that's how it works. You got to suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Sheamus picking up the victory.
Who did Sheamus just he kicked Jericho's head off?
Yep. Little bro kick for the victory.
This was pre Jericho coming back and the friendships and all that stuff, right? This was way before then.
Yeah, this is way before.
Him and Kevin Owens. That was
way before the Kevin Owens stuff right here. Yeah, I mean a few years.
Yeah, 5 years maybe, right?
Yeah, good.
But yeah, look, this is just they're getting Sheamus a big W on the show.
And now we're plugging The Rock again.
Yeah, we're plugging still to come The Rock.
And look at how smooth he looks right there with that freshly shaved head, tight T-shirt.
Look, you don't have to make me more jealous.
I mean, I got a freshly shaved head too. Did you know when Raw debuted on January 11th, 1993, almost 20 years ago, stamps cost 29 cents, and a gallon of gas cost just $1.11.
Wow, what timing, right? That's very...